The year was 2012. The Marvel Cinematic Universe was in its infancy, and Joss Whedon's first Avengers movie was a rousing success. The key component for bringing the Avengers together was Phil Coulson, a S.H.I.E.L.D. agent who gave his life after being stabbed through the heart by the villainous Loki. Fast forward to 2013, and the MCU makes its first leap into network television with Marvel's Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., a show about the titular organisation trying to keep the peace in a world full of superheroes. Clark Gregg, the man who played Phil Coulson, returned to the series in the main role. How did he survive Loki's fatal stab through the heart? This question served as the hook for the audiences to tune in, as well as introduce us to Coulson's ragtag team of field agents. Grant Ward, played by Brett Dalton, Melinda May, played by Ming-Na Wen, Gemma Simmons, played by Elizabeth Henstridge, Leopold Fitz, played by fellow Scot Ian Takestecker, apologies if I butchered your last name Ian, and Skye, played by Chloe Bennett. The first half of Season 1 largely focused on the day-to-day adventures of Coulson's newly assembled team as they handle strange new cases and clean up Thor's mess after his climatic battle in Thor the Dark World, while pursuing a villain called the Clairvoyant. The show had a healthy array of guest stars, including Jamie Alexander, who played Lady Sif, Kobe Smulders, who played Agent Maria Hill, Samuel L. Jackson, the one and only Nick Fury, and of course, a Stan Lee cameo. After the show aired the mid-season finale, The Bridge, critics had been less than kind to the show, already writing it off as a failure. This was largely due to a lack of engaging storylines and issues with the performances of its actors, with Brett Dalton's Agent Ward the main recipient of their scorn. Little did they know that a decision of one MCU movie would improve both of these issues and give the show a new lease of life. On the 26th of March 2014, Marvel released Captain America, the Winter Soldier, to astounding critical success. The key to this was the reveal that S.H.I.E.L.D. had been infiltrated by Hydra, a terrorist organisation once led by the villainous Red Skull. With Hydra's existence revealed, a war broke out between the two factions, leaving Captain America and Nick Fury no choice but to destroy both S.H.I.E.L.D. and Hydra. This quite literally blew up a Marvel show's premise, and it seemed like there was no reason to continue. Or at least that's what we thought. As the second half of Season 1 premiered on the 7th of January 2014, an episode called The Magical Place, the audience found out that Phil Coulson actually died during the Avengers movie and had been dead for days after the Battle of New York. Coulson was resurrected at the orders of Nick Fury. However, after his revival, Coulson had lost the will to live. In order for Coulson to continue working for S.H.I.E.L.D., doctors manipulated Coulson's brain to give him false memories in order for him to continue his work, with the agent believing he was sent to recover in Tahiti. It's a magical place. With this key story arc resolved in the first episode of the mid-season, the show had 4 more episodes of standard S.H.I.E.L.D. shenanigans to contend with before it began its monumental course correction. Any other show would look at the decisions made in Captain America the Winter Soldier as a sign that Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.'s small screen debut was heading for the scrap heap. Instead, showrunners Jed Whedon and Marissa Tancharoen, again apologies if I butchered your last name, used this opportunity to fix the complaints of the naysayers and create one of the best back halves of a television series in recent memory. As we came to episode 17, Turn, 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 which was written by both Whedon and Tancharoen, the show's revival began, creating the same level of intrigue, suspicion, deception that the Russos achieved with the Winter Soldier. With Hydra now exposed, suspicions began to mount amongst the already established team members, as well as new agents, Victoria Hand, played by Saffron Burrows, Antoine Triplett, or Trip, played by B.J. Britt, and John Garrett, played by the late, great Bill Paxton, that had arrived to assist Coulson's team in their hunt for the Clairvoyant. The story presented us with several red herrings that a member of the extended team was a traitor, but in the end, it was finally revealed that John Garrett was a Hydra sleeper agent, and as a result, the real Clairvoyant. Finally wrapping up that storyline, as Garrett was taken into custody, Ward, who was Garrett's protege, requested to come with Hand to ensure Garrett's transport went smoothly. While en route, Hand gives Ward the honour of taking down his former mentor, only for Ward to shoot Hand instead, free Garrett, and reveal to the audience that he is in fact the traitor. This episode was a key turning point for Ward's character, as the writers were now able to explain away Dalton's stale acting at the start of the series as a ruse to try and keep his cover while infiltrating Coulson's team. Making Ward the show's Mo gave the audience more layers to his character. In flashbacks, you learn that Ward was in a juvenile detention centre where Garrett recruited him to join the organisation, and later into Hydra. While Ward's loyalty was to Garrett, Ward still cared about his new team, in particular S.H.I.E.L.D, whom he had formed a connection with in the episodes prior to his villainous turn. Ward also showed his brutality by killing off fan favourite character Eric Cohen, played by Patton Oswalt, which was the start of Ward and Garrett's downfall. Ward's reveal also helped turn secondary characters within the team into ones that became fan favourites as the series progressed, Gemma Simmons and Leopold Fitz. In the penultimate episode, Ragtag, Fitz and Simmons were captured by Ward, and after Fitz disables Garrett's implants with an EMP, Garrett orders Ward to kill them. After the two lock themselves in a cell within the bus, which was the team's plane, Ward ejects the cell into the ocean, along with his former teammates, but not before admitting that he does care about them, which is his weakness. It all comes down to the series finale, titled Beginning of the End, to bring the story home, and it does so in style. With time ticking away, Fitz figures out how he and Simmons can get out of the cell, but it comes at a cost. Only one of them will survive. Fitz sacrifices himself for Simmons, but not before finally admitting to Simmons that he loves her. A storyline hinted at the first half of the season, but never fully developed. This incredibly heroic act acts as the catalyst for both characters to grow and develop as the show progressed over time, and as such, wouldn't have happened without the Hydra Ward twist. After this, Fitz and Simmons are rescued by none other than Nick Fury, who also goes on to help Coulson take out Garrett, now in full-on big bad mode. With the help of Deathlock, played by J. August Richards, the team take down Garrett and Agent May comes out on top in a brutal, emotionally charged fight with Ward, due to the fact they had been intimate in a physical sense during the first half of the season. As the dust settles, it looks like Garrett has survived his attack to become a threat going into Season 2. However, in a true Whedon shock turn, Coulson turns up and obliterates Garrett behind his back with a weapon he was looking for after the fight. It's quick, hilarious, and suits his character down to a T. With Coulson and Fury's confrontation at the end of the episode, Fury tells Coulson why he resurrected him. Project Tahiti's original intention was to resurrect a fallen Avenger, and Fury did so because he considered Coulson an Avenger. Now that S.H.I.E.L.D. needs to be rebuilt after Hydra's revelation, he passes the mantle of director on to Coulson, leading the team to a new base run by Billy Cohen, Eric's brother, who is once again played by Patton Oswalt. Too many people gave up on Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. after the first half of the season, and as a result, missed out on an emotionally charged, action-packed second half full of twists and turns. The reveal of Hydra, as well as Ward's villainous turn, gave the show a much-needed injection of suspense and adrenaline. The betrayal of Ward brought the team closer together, and their chemistry would only grow as the show went on. Coulson's story arc gave fans of the character a satisfying conclusion to his resurrection, and showed off Clark Gregg's impressive acting range in the process. Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. started to break away from the MCU restraints in later seasons, a decision which ultimately benefited the show in the long run. However, the dramatic twist in Captain America: The Winter Soldier to destroy S.H.I.E.L.D. ironically turned out to be the show's salvation.